Hello everyone and welcome to our 1.2 and 1.5 segments and angles with variables notes. I am losing my voice. I apologize for the scratchiness. After teaching yesterday and having open house, I think it's just gone. I'm not sick, it's just losing my voice. Okay, so I want to start with just a quick review. So think back to the segment addition postulate and remember that it says that whenever you add the smaller pieces of a segment together, they add up to the whole. So let's look at that. So if you do A to B, plus B to C. That adds up to that whole thing, which is segment A to C, from A all the way to C. So in colors, that would be blue plus pink equals yellow. And then we have the angle addition postulate. And the angle addition postulate says that if you add the smaller pieces of the angle up, it adds up to the whole. So this, whenever you have this point D on the interior of the angle, the smaller blue angle, ABD, plus DVC, smaller pink angle. Those are going to add up, to the whole thing. So there's the blue one. That adds up to the whole thing, which I'm going to put in yellow, which is ABC, this bigger angle right here. It's that whole thing. So blue plus pink equals yellow. So we're going to start doing that again, but we're just going to be doing it with algebra this time. So continuing to practice our algebra skills, and I'm going to color code as we go. If you feel like you already know how to do this, try these problems first, and then fast forward in the video and see if you got the answers right, especially as you start to catch on. All right, so we want to find KL, and so in order to find KL, we need to start by finding X first. And so let's color code. Blue plus pink adds up to the whole thing, which is yellow. Okay, so I'm going to write that out. If you wanted to start with the letters, it would be JK plus KL equals the whole thing, which is JL. That's what our segment addition postulate says. But now we're going to actually plug in our expressions. So 2 plus 3x plus 5x minus 1. That is going to be equal to 17. So I'm going to color code that. So blue, this part, plus the pink, this part, adds up to the whole, which is 17. And so here's where we're ready to start combining like terms. So just like yesterday, we're going to put things into piles. So what is 3x plus 5x? That's going to give me 8x. And then what is 2 minus 1? That's going to give me 1. Okay, and now we're just going to solve this two-step equation. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides. And we get 8x equals 16. And so x, we divide by 8 on both sides, and we get 2. So what is the value of x? The value of x is 2. And then it wants to know what is KL. So for KL, we're going to do 5 times 2 minus 1. And that's going to give me 9. What is a really good way to check it to see if you did it right? If this is 9, what is the other piece? 3 times 2 is 6 plus 8, or plus 2 is 8. And then what is 8 plus 9? 8 plus 9 is in fact 17. So I know that I did it right. So you can always plug it back in to check it. All right, let's do the next one. So we've got blue and pink, but now we've got another piece. So I'm gonna go orange. And that adds up to the whole thing, which I'm gonna do in yellow. And so all of those pieces add up to the whole. And so that's gonna be x plus 17 plus x plus 19 plus 8 adds up to the whole thing, which is x plus 34. I like to write a 1 in front of each of these x's just so I don't forget that there's just one of those. That helps me. And now we're going to start solving this equation. So cleaning up some of our like terms. 1x plus 1x is 2x. And then we're going to put together our numbers. So what is 17 plus 19 plus 8? That's just combining like terms. That's going to give us 44. That's going to be equal to 1x plus 34. And then we're going to get our variables on the same side. So I'm going to go minus 1x. And so I get 1x plus 44 equals 34. And then I'm going to subtract 44 from both sides. And I get that 1x is equal to negative 10. So x was 2, x is negative 10. And that's not saying that the segment itself in length is negative. That's saying that the value of x is negative. So let's plug this into HI. What is HI? Well, h to I is going to be negative 10 plus 19, which is 9. So that should be 9. Let's find the other piece. What is negative 10 plus 17? That's going to give me 7. So how do I know if I did it right? Well, what is 7 plus 9 plus 8? That is going to give me 34 for the whole thing. And then if you plug that in here for a negative 10 plus 34, that's going to give me, let's see. Oh, that's 24, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. So when I added all my like terms together, that was 24. 7 and 9 and 8 adds up to 24. And then when you do negative 10 plus 34, you get 24. So we know that we did that right. All right, number 3 uses a vocabulary word. It says if Q is the midpoint of PR, which means that's just in the middle. So I'm going to mark it with my congruence marks. If Q is the midpoint, what is the length of PQ? This time, I'm just going to, I'm not going to use the segment addition postulate because we don't know what the whole thing is. Like we don't have a number for the whole thing. We could if we knew what the whole thing was. But I do know that I've got a blue piece and a pink piece, and I know that those are going to be congruent. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set those expressions equal to each other. 6x minus 7 is going to be equal to 5x plus 1. And so we've got the pink piece set equal to the blue piece. And so we're just going to solve this equation. I'm going to get my variables on the same side. Minus 5x minus 5x. And I get 1x minus 7 equals 1. And then I'm going to add 7 to both sides. And what do I get? I get 8. How do you know if you did it right? You just go back and plug it in. So what is 6 times 8? That's 48 minus 7 is 41. So if I did this right, the other side should also be 41. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 1 is also 41. So what is P to Q? P to Q is 41. So I know I did it right. All right, so last segment addition, just to continue to give us practice with this. Blue, teeny tiny blue piece, plus the pink piece is going to add up to the whole thing, this whole expression. And so we're going to set that up algebraically. Small blue piece plus the pink piece add up to x plus 21. So let's color code that. Blue plus pink add up to yellow. And now we're just going to solve our equation. So we got to clean up the left-hand side first. So what can I put together on the left-hand side? The 23 and the 9. So we can combine like terms. That's going to give us 2x plus 32 equals x plus 21. I'm going to put the 1 there because that helps my brain. And so when I go to solve, I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides. And I get 1x plus 32 equals 21. And then I'm going to subtract 32 from both sides. And so what do you get? What is 21 minus 32? That is going to give us negative 11. Again, that's not saying the length of the segment is negative. It's saying that the value of x is negative. So what is x? X is equal to negative 11. What is g to e? It wants me to actually plug that in. What is 2 times negative 11 plus 23? 2 times negative 11 gives me 22, and then, or negative 22, and that plus 23 gives me 1. How do you know if you did it right? Plug in negative 11 to this piece too. Negative 11 plus 21 is going to give me 10. So what is 1 plus 9? 1 plus 9 is 10, so I know that I did good math there. I know that my answer makes sense. And so what is G to E? G to E was a very short segment. It was actually only a length of 1. So that is the segment addition postulate with algebra. And now we're going to look at the angle addition postulate with algebra. And so you notice on the first one it says that point B is on the interior of PQR, but it doesn't have a picture. So if in doubt, we're always going to draw it out. So here's P, Q, R, and then B is happening somewhere on the interior. So I don't know exactly where, so I'm just going to draw it right here. Again, this is just a rough sketch. All right, so it says, what if PQB is 38 degrees? So we've got to put that tattoo where it goes in the diagram. And RQB is 24. So let's put that where it goes in the diagram. It wants to know what is R to Q to P. So what is this big yellow angle? What is that big amount? If this blue amount is 38 and this pink amount is 24. Well, this is like what we did. This actually does not have a ton of math or algebra involved. We're just going to do like what we did before. This one's just hard because you had to draw it out. So Let's do that real quick. We would do 38 plus 24 adds up to the whole thing. So we're just going to go blue plus pink. And so this is just a review of how you do the process of finding the big angle. That is going to be 62 degrees. 62 degrees is what that yellow angle is going to be. 62 degrees. Okay, so let's start adding some algebra in there. And this one already has a diagram drawn for us. So it says DUT. So let's find DUT. That's going to be this pink angle. So let's write in what that is. That's going to be 24x plus 5. And then VUD is 46 degrees. So that's going to be our blue piece. Oh. And we want to find what is the whole thing. Well, the whole thing, it says, there's our yellow angle, VUT. VUT is going to be 35x minus 4. So how I do that is I just go ahead and draw to show myself this whole thing is 35x minus 4. And so we're going to go ahead and create an equation. So 46 plus 24x plus 5 adds up to the whole thing, which is 35x minus 4. And so I'm going to color code that. Here's my blue piece, and here's my pink piece. That adds up to the whole thing, which is in yellow. And so now we're just going to clean up the left-hand side of this equation a little bit. We can put together my like terms of 46 and 5. That's going to be 51 plus 24x equals 35x minus 4. And then I'm going to subtract 24x from both sides. And then we have 51 equals, you're going to combine your like terms. That's going to give me 11x minus 4. And so we're going to add 4 to both sides. 55 equals 11x. So x equals 55 divided by 11 is going to give me 5. So what is x? X is 5. And if you wanted to make sure that you did it right, you would just go back and plug it in. All right. We have this next one. And we have d to k to l is 21x plus 21x plus 5. And then it says jkl, the big angle, is 132. 132. And the smaller angle is 4x plus 2. So they give me the expressions. So we're going to write our equation. 21x plus 5 plus 4x plus 2 adds up to 132. And so if you wanted to color code that, this big one would be the yellow one. We've got our pink one and then our blue one. So we're just creating that expression. Pink and blue add up to yellow. And so now we're going to combine our like terms. That would be 25x plus 7 equals 132. So 25x, when you subtract 7 from both sides, you're going to get 125. And then whenever you divide by 25 on both sides, that is going to be 5. So x is 5. What is jkd? Well, jkd is the 4x plus 2. So what would I do? I'll do 4 times 5 plus 2. So that's going to give me 22 degrees. If I went back and plugged it in, that would be jkd. I could also find the blue one by plugging it in and then checking it. All right, last one. It says that this big angle ABC is 94 degrees. So that's my yellow one. 94 degrees, ABC. And then we've got our blue piece. Is 3x plus 15. This one's kind of nice because it already has the expressions in the diagram. And it wants us to find x. And so 3x plus 15 plus x plus 7 adds up to 94. So that is going to be blue plus pink equals yellow. And I'm just going to combine my like terms. We've got, this is 3x, this is 1x. And so together those make 4x. And then 15 and 7 makes 22. We're going to subtract 22 from both sides. And we get 4x, 94 minus 22. It should be 72. And then we're going to divide both sides by 4. When you do 72 divided by 4, you get 18. So x is 18. What is ABD? We're just going to go back and plug it in. That's going to be 3 times 18 plus 15. Do some order of operations on that. Just type it in your calculator if you need to. So 3 times 18 gives me 54 degrees or 54 plus 15 gives me a 69-degree angle here. And so if that blue one is 69 degrees, the other one should be, when we do it, 94 minus 69, should give me 25. But let's check it. What is 18 plus 7? 18 plus 7 is 25. So how do you know if you did it right? Whenever you add 69 degrees together with 25 degrees, it does add up to 94. And so that is our notes on the segment addition postulate and angle addition postulate with some algebra.